Hey, you're listening to Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady Hooker, and live on Skype, Brandon.
Hello.
So, start of Raw, Authority, blockbuster announcement.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan stripped of the WWE title for the second time in his career.
That's got to be a record rivaled with probably only Austin.
Yeah, and Bryan has somewhat of like a Mick Foley record with the WWE title so far. He has 3 title reigns, but only for 65 days. I hope he recovers and gets a good reign.
Yeah, it's quite sad to see him head out with an injury, especially after his big WrestleMania 30 win.
Yeah, he had a lot of momentum coming out of Extreme Rules, and that injury pretty much took it all away. But when I think Daniel Bryan returns, he'll have all that momentum back.
We hope. The Money in the Bank ladder match now becomes for the title.
Yep, and I think that's pretty interesting because we've never seen anything like that in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Instead of having to cash in the briefcase, you get the title right up front.
Still hoping for a second Money in the Bank with the briefcase.
Yeah, I don't think the WWE superstars are rooting for that because I think they want to hold on to that championship for as long as they can. But that would also be nice to see, too.
And Randy Orton just gets placed in because he's Randy Orton.
Yep, Randy Orton gets what Triple H wants.
To be honest, he did sort of deserve it. He did never get his rematch.
Yep, that's pretty true.
I think if Batista had stuck around, he'd have probably got placed in it.
I'm not sure because I think Batista. I think he'd probably be involved with the Shield in Evolution still.
True. Depends. He thinks he deserves a title shot.
What? Honestly, he does. He won the Royal Rumble expecting to be Randy Orton one-on-one match, but it ends up being a triple threat match because Triple H's ego, he wanted to make Daniel Bryan suffer.
Yeah. Well, we'll see who's gonna join Randy Orton and the others because the first match, Money in the Bank qualifier, the US champ and the IC champ.
Yeah, Battle of the Champions. I don't really know who's gonna win this match at first, but I looked up the other day that Barrett, he only has 3 wins against Sheamus in like double-digit matches, so it wasn't too shocking to see Sheamus pick up the win and head on to Money in the Bank.
I would have liked to see Barrett, but maybe if they bring out that second Money in the Bank, we can just shove Barrett into that.
Yeah, Barrett, I think he was supposed to win Money in the Bank a number, like 2 years ago, but an injury prevented that. So maybe Barrett, he gets involved in a second Money in the Bank ladder match and wins it. It'd be nice because Bad News Barrett, I didn't expect to get as over as it has so far.
But you could imagine Bad News Barrett, the champion's completely beaten, laid out after a match, and then he just comes over the PA system saying, I've got some bad news, and then comes out to cash in.
Yeah, that would be a great moment.
But it will probably never happen, because knowing WWE, we won't get a second Money in the Bank. I think we would have heard things about it by now.
I did read a few things about it online, but you can't really trust the internet nowadays.
True. How far away are we now? I think it's only like 2 weeks.
Yep, I'm pretty sure it's either 3 or 2 weeks. I think it's like it's something in the...
It's at the end of this month.
Yeah.
It's the last Sunday of the month. Let me load up a calendar here. So, by the time this goes to air on Friday, it's about...
For 2 weeks from, like, Sunday.
Yeah. When we air on Friday, it'll be like 1 week and 3 days-ish. It won't be very long. But yeah, we'll go on to the next bit. We spent a lot of time on that. Rusev, Zack Ryder.
Yeah, Ryder, he's on a very, very long losing streak. He's now lost 8 matches in a row, and he's only had 8 matches since November, so Ryder is not making the most of his opportunities, and Rusev, he's just been dominant over the past few months.
Yeah, I gotta admit, with this match, I got no bullet point. There's no interesting information. Everybody knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah, we knew Rusev, he was going to come out and dominate like he has been ever since he debuted.
See, I thought we were heading into a Rusev-Mark Henry match, but it seems to be leaning towards Rusev swagger.
I'm not too sure about that, because we haven't seen a bad guy versus a bad guy in quite a while. So maybe Big E Langston, he gets involved in that as well.
I do have to point out that the Real Americans are quite over.
Yep, they're very over, but
So-
I'm not sure if their total message fits into what a good guy role is.
True, but Lana ended up distracting them in their match over on SmackDown against Big E, causing to a loss.
Yeah, I think that kind of teases a Swagger versus Rusev match and maybe Big E involvement because Big E Langston was in that match.
Yeah. Okay, well, up next, Rybaxel versus Goldust and R-Trizzle.
Yeah, Goldust, he hasn't won at all in like the past week, no, more than a week. It's been like 7 weeks maybe.
Yeah.
Because I know he's lost like 7 matches in a row. And Rybaxel, they've been on a mini roll as of late, winning like 3 out of their last 4 matches as a tag team. So it's not too shocking to see Rybaxel win, but it is kind of shocking to see Goldust fall from grace. He was a great tag team champion with Cody Rhodes. They lose the belt, and all of a sudden you see Goldust crashing to the ground.
Well, later on in the show, Cody did promise to bring Goldust a new partner that was out of this galaxy.
Yeah, I think that... I don't know who's going to be, honestly. I don't think it's going to be someone from NXT, because I don't think this is a good moment to bring someone up like that. Because the spotlight is going to be on Goldust, not the person.
Yeah. I think when I made my predictions, I said it was going to be a current wrestler with a new gimmick. It could be something as simple as Rhodes in a mask, or it could be something like Hunico coming out with, like, a cape.
Or Damien Sandow doing what Damien Sandow does.
Yeah, or that. Or you could even bring back the Hurricane, and that one's probably on the more unlikely scale.
Yeah.
So we'll jump into the classic. It's not really classic. It was from like 2007, 8, 9, somewhere there. Mr. Kennedy's entrance theme.
Mr. Kennedy!
And you're back with the Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady and Brandon. Next up on Raw, Layla didn't have too good of a time.
Yeah, Summer Rae, she has been after Layla in the past few weeks after Fandango broke up with Summer Rae over Twitter.
See, Summer pretends to not be that hurt about it, but she's lashing out.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a different side of Summer Rae. We're not seeing the dancer Summer Rae, we're seeing the vicious side of Summer Rae.
It's almost like Layla and Summer Rae have switched, because Layla's had that vicious role before.
Yeah, she has. She's been a women's champion in LayCool, a divas champion in LayCool, and she was pretty dominant with LayCool. But now, Layla's kind of alone. She doesn't have a diva next to her, so she may be in a bit of trouble with Summer.
Over on SmackDown, it was meant to be Fandango versus Adam Rose. Rose picked up the easy win there, but Summer Rae was sneaky.
Yeah, a member of the Rosebud wanted to get involved in that. Rosebud ended up being Summer Rae in a chicken mask. Very nice disguise. I didn't think it was her.
I thought it was her when the Exotic Express left and the chicken didn't.
Yeah, it was either that or we're having another Eric Rowan on the main roster.
Oh, see, I always thought it would be the bunny if someone was going to be a character.
Yep, you said that.
So we'll jump back. 3MB versus what's left of the Shield. It didn't really...
Yeah, 3MB is trying to take advantage of what's going on with the Shield. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, they don't really know what's going on right now. Seth Rollins left them, so they're kind of in a limbo. They were impressive last week, right? It was last week, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
The only problem is that the Shield is still quite dominant, even just as a duo.
Yeah, but 3MB, I don't think they realize that, because Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, I think they're kind of motivated by Seth Rollins leaving them. I think we're seeing a different side of them. You may have thought they were pretty good together as a three-man unit, but I think they can probably be even better as a two-man duo.
And 3MB, 2/3 of them get fired for their part.
Yep.
Well, sorry, released. Gotta use the fancy PC word there. The Usos versus Fandango, and I don't even know what gimmick Sandow was in at that point.
Yeah, I really was entertained by Damian Sandow in this match. The fans were chanting for him, and I was kind of chanting for him at home too. And this is an interesting stat. The Usos are 9-0 against Fandango now after this contest.
I think Fandango would be like 0 and 50 million by now.
Yeah, I know Fandango is kind of on a cold streak. I don't know if it's Layla, because I think he was a bit more successful with Summer Rae, even though Summer cost him a match or two. So, I don't know. We could see Fandango change his mind on Layla and eventually go back to Summer Rae or a different diva.
Okay, well, up next, someone who's on a undefeated streak, Bo Dallas.
Yep, he remains undefeated, and I'm actually becoming a believer. This past week on NXT and this week's SmackDown, I thought he was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, over on SmackDown, he defeated R-Trizzle and went 7-0.
Yeah, Bo Dallas, I think he's just impressive. I think he has an entertaining side to him. He has a vicious side to him. And he just has that thing that you want in a talent. You want entertainment, you want the skills, and you want a guy that's going to draw fans. And I think Bo leaving, like all the Bo Dallas puns, I think that's really getting the fans involved in Bo Dallas and getting very interested in him.
I did hear that Batista showed up on NXT in a dark segment and everyone was chanting Bautista.
Yeah, it was a hysterical segment. I watched it on YouTube. Look it up sometime, guys. Bo Dallas, again, he's just a hysterical talent. You can take him seriously, and he can be funny. Unlike Santino, you cannot take him seriously at all. But with Bo Dallas, you can take him seriously.
Okay. Well, next, the Money in the Bank qualifier, this time Cesaro and RVD.
Yeah, I thought this was pretty obvious who was winning this match. No way Cesaro was not going to the WWE title match.
He earned it.
Yeah, I think Cesaro, he's a big threat to win the title. Even though he's not a big name like a Randy Orton or a Sheamus, I think he is a very good dark horse option to win this match.
Yeah, I don't know if that's been a strength or a weakness of the Money in the Bank this year, but the people in the qualifier matches, it's pretty obvious who's going to win them for the most part.
Yeah, except for that Sheamus Wade Barrett contest. I thought that was a pretty even contest who is going to go into the match. And I think Sheamus, he has somewhat of a chip on his shoulder, and so does Cesaro heading into this match.
Well, we'll have to see what happens there. Money in the Bank, now that it's for the titles, is going to be a lot harder to predict.
Yeah, I know, because you're going to have a lot of big guys in the match, and that's going to make it unpredictable, and I think that makes Money in the Bank even better of a pay-per-view.
Okay, well, we'll move on. Seth Rollins had a small little interview, called out the Shield. The Shield came out, Wyatt's brawl.
Yeah, Seth Rollins, he's really distancing himself from the Shield. He kind of wants to break away from them and become Seth Rollins, the singles guy, instead of Seth Rollins, the Shield member.
But I gotta say, I've never heard Seth saying he joined Evolution.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to be in Evolution. I read a few articles online saying that they didn't really have plans to put him in Evolution, and I think that could be a benefit for Rollins because Evolution, they haven't been on the brightest of streaks as of late, losing to the Shield twice. So I think that's kind of a good move for Seth Rollins.
Okay, what do we got next? Paige, Alicia Fox. Fox taps out, like, for the 17th time, and then attacks her buddy.
Yeah, we've seen this match a lot of times. I'm pretty sure the only time that Alicia has defeated Paige was on NXT once in a tag team match, and once on when Raw was in England.
Yeah.
So the result of this match wasn't shocking at all, but what Alicia did was kind of shocking, but that's what you're coming to expect with Alicia now.
Yeah, we all say it was shocking, and then over on SmackDown, Alicia Fox defeated Oksana, but I'm pretty sure later that week they announced that Oksana was released as well.
Yeah, Alicia picking up an impressive victory over Oksana, so I think that's what the WWE saw. They didn't think Oksana can stick with the big guys.
A lot of people, I think it was 10 superstars, got released in that mass release.
Yep, a lot of superstars got cut, and kind of unfortunate because some of the guys are pretty talented, but that's how the business works.
Fair enough. Where have we got now? Jack Swagger, Santino, and Swagger deported Santino.
Yeah, I was so happy to see Jack Swagger win this one. I don't think we've seen him win a match on Raw and SmackDown in a while, so it's kind of refreshing.
I gotta say, no matter how over the Real Americans are, they never really won since Cesaro's left.
Yeah, I think Cesaro was the glue that held Zeb and Swagger together.
I think he's gone back to his slapping swagger as well.
Yep, that pretty much worked for Zeb. And I think that's kind of a good motivation skill because instead of being mad at Zeb, you take out on that anger on Santino. And after Jack took all that anger out on Santino, it was pretty much a quick victory for him.
Okay, well, we'll jump into the current entrance theme of the week. It's a TNA one. Ethan Carter III, the former Derek Bateman.
Ladies and gentlemen, EC.
Hey, you're listening to Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady and Brandon. We got a few points left on Raw. I just want to mention it before we go to the main event. The Authority are really hating on Vicky.
Yeah, poor Vicky Guerrero.
I heard that she was leaving to pursue other endeavors a while back.
Yep, I'm pretty sure Vicky's going to be leaving the company after this thing with the Authority because it always ends up when Vicky interacts with someone like Stephanie McMahon or Vince McMahon, she ends up losing her job. So, poor Vicky Guerrero.
Yep. Okay, now we'll jump into the main event. The Shield and John Cena, busted eye and all, versus the Wyatt family.
Yeah, I thought the Wyatt family had a good chance of winning, but obviously they didn't win. But the Shield, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, they showed that they don't need Seth Rollins.
They don't even need a John Cena.
Yeah, they probably don't. They can probably even take down the Wyatt family 2-on-3.
Well, I'm guessing John Cena didn't do all too much since Wyatt poked him in the eye.
Yeah, I'm not sure too much what happened with John Cena's eye, but John Cena was smart not to get too involved because you don't want that eye to develop into something bigger.
And then we get another Daniel Bryan situation.
Yeah.
Could you imagine WWE with Daniel Bryan and Cena both out?
Yeah, it'd be a pretty interesting situation because you can see guys like Bray Wyatt, Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio grabbing the spotlight.
Okay, well, we'll jump over to SmackDown for a few things we haven't talked about. B&B had a match against Roman Reigns, and weirdly, 3MB interfered.
Yeah, 3MB trying again to take advantage of the situation, this time 3-on-1. That still didn't work. Barrett vs. Reigns, that was a pretty good match while it lasted. It sucked to see 3MB mess it all up, though.
So we want to see that match again?
Hopefully.
I think it was announced on WWE.com, the Wyatt family versus the Usos for the tag team titles.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going to go on with that match. It's pretty much been a dead heat going on over the past number of months with the Usos and the Wyatt family. We really haven't seen Roman and Harper get a tag team title shot, so it's remained to be seen what Roman and Harper can do in a tag team title match.
Well, Eric Rowan pulled the momentum onto their side on SmackDown when he defeated Jey Uso.
Yeah, it was nice to see Eric Rowan in a singles match for once, and I think he's a very underrated member of the Wyatt family, and he showed against Jey Uso that he's not a guy to overlook in the Wyatt family.
Up next, we had Sheamus, Cesaro, and Cesaro with the roll-up.
Yeah, Cesaro taking a page out of Sheamus's book, and I think it's kind of nice to see that because I was pissed off when Sheamus did it to Cesaro at Payback.
Do we see this? They're both in the Money in the Bank, so it makes sense to feud them.
Yeah, it does, and I'm not sure if we'll see a title change because we didn't see one at Payback. So it'd be nice to see a title change, though.
True. I think these two can put on great matches, so hopefully less roll-ups, more match.
Yep.
What do we got left? I believe it's just the main event. The Money in the Bank qualifier, Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose.
Ambrose, I thought he had this one. But Seth Rollins, he continues to ruin things for Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns.
I think that's pretty much set a Seth Rollins-Dean Ambrose match.
Yeah, I think so, because if I were Dean Ambrose, the only guy I would have my eyes on right now would be Seth Rollins, because he just cost me a chance at the World Heavyweight title.
I know when they've been doing promos and stuff, Dean Ambrose seems really mad at Rollins, and Reigns seems really mad at Orton.
Yeah, I think that they're trying to take out their frustration and not show that they're affected emotionally. I know on the inside that they're emotionally affected. They may not seem like it, and in the ring they don't seem like it because they're on fire right now. But I don't know. I think that Rollins, he may have a psychotic advantage because I'm not sure if Ambrose's mind is in the right state right now.
Yeah. See, I don't know who's going to win that match. I'm sure it's going to happen, but if we've got that happening, then Reigns is left floating out and about, and if he's focusing on Orton, then his focus would be on Money in the Bank.
Yep, I've said it for weeks that I think Roman Reigns will end up in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I don't see Triple H wrestling at this pay-per-view because he's wrestled in, like 3 pay-per-views in a row?
Yeah.
So, just give the game a pay-per-view break and let's put Roman Reigns in the spotlight.
And how awesome would it be when he Superman punches someone off a ladder?
That would be awesome. And what would be even more awesome is Roman Reigns winning the title if he qualifies for it.
That's taking a step too far. I think the amount of talent...
It's too far-fetched with the things that Roman Reigns has done over the past, 2 years they've been here?
Yeah. I could see it happening, but when you've got the likes of Orton and Sheamus and Bray even, there's a few that there could be above them in the pecking order.
I don't think that Sheamus is as big as a threat to win this match because he's the U.S. champion. I think he's more focused on his championship rather than the world title right now.
Yeah. If I'm looking at the Money in the Bank purely as feuds, in terms of they're putting 2 people in and all that, I could definitely see Reigns coming out just to feud with Orton until Bryan comes back.
Yeah, I think that Roman Reigns is one of those guys that's going to take advantage of Daniel Bryan being out and grab that spotlight.
You just don't want him to grab too much of it so there's none left when Bryan comes back.
But you want Roman Reigns to be a big star in the company, and I think that he is going to be a big star in the company, so it's only a matter of the time that happens anyways. So
you think it's go time?
Yeah, I think it's go time for Roman Reigns. I think Rollins turning on him, flipped the switch on him. I think that Reigns, he's going to watch his back now. He's going to think about the guys he's around with, and I think he's going to probably win a lot of matches over the next number of weeks, and maybe even a match at Money in the Bank for the WWE World Heavyweight title.
Okay. Well, that's all we got time for. It's been great talking to you.
Great talking to you.
So you can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wrestling Roundup Radio, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/Wrestling Radio, or our website, wrestlingroundup.host22, wrestlingroundup.host22.com. And I'll see you next week.